Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling a huge topic when AI lies. Specifically, we're looking at hallucinations and how to handle them. So get this, just last week I was using my AI and it gave me this incredibly confident answer to a question I asked. I mean, it sounded totally legit, but here's the kicker. It had the wrong author, the wrong university. And the book it confidently cited, yeah, it didn't even exist. Literally made up. We call this hallucination. It's when the AI generates something that just sounds incredibly right, with zero hesitation, absolutely no disclaimer. Just a totally fabricated fact delivered like it's the most obvious truth in the world. And, that's the real problem here. It's not just that AI gets things wrong sometimes. We all do, right? It's that when it does mess up, you usually can't tell. The confident tone of a completely hallucinated answer looks and sounds exactly the same as the confident tone of a totally correct one. I'd argue that is probably the biggest single risk when you're working with AI. It's not just a failure, it's an invisible failure. So why on earth does this happen? Well, think of it kind of like an unprepared student who only, half read the textbook right before a massive exam. They kind of remember the characters, maybe the main themes, the general vibe. So they write down something that sounds super reasonable, filling in the blank spots with whatever just fits the context. And they write it with that exact same confident tone as the parts they actually studied. Large language models, or LLMs, work the exact same way. They've learned patterns from just massive amounts of text. When you ask them a question, they try to find the strongest pattern match. And if no strong match exists, well, they just connect nearby patterns and confidently fill in the gap. But hey, there is something that most explanations of this totally skip. The error doesn't just stop at one single wrong word. See, each word the AI generates is based on all the words that came right before it. And yeah, that includes the ones it literally just made up a second ago. So one tiny fabricated detail pulls the very next sentence entirely off course, which of course pulls the next one even further off track. By the time the AI actually finishes its answer, it's built an entire story on totally invented ground. That's exactly why my fake book didn't just get a fake title, it got a fake author, a fake university, even a fake publication year. The error just snowballs. And the crazy part? It sounds completely normal the entire time. Now there's actually a second failure mode that is absolutely worth knowing about. Sometimes the AI doesn't just invent a random fact. Instead, it accepts a fundamentally broken question from you and answers it anyway. This out sometime. Ask an AI how switching from tabs to spaces in your code will affect your customer retention rate. Obviously, there's absolutely zero real connection there. A truly good model? It'll push back and tell you that premise makes no sense. But a weaker one? Oh, it will confidently write you 3 beautifully polished paragraphs about how clean code magically builds user trust. Total nonsense, but delivered perfectly. And this isn't just theoretical, this was actually tested. There's this benchmark, hilariously called BullshitBench. They threw 100 completely nonsensical questions at different AIs across software, finance, medicine, law, you name it. Every single question sounds highly plausible, but the underlying premise is totally broken. The results? Well, Anthropic's Claude actually pushes back on around 91% of them. But some weaker models out there, they just accept the nonsense promise almost 9 times out of 10. Seriously, try yourself. Take whatever AI model you're currently using or testing out and just throw a few absolute nonsense questions at it. If it always just plays along and gives you a straight answer, that is a massive reliability signal. Because honestly, a model that can't spot a blatantly broken premise is definitely not going to spot a subtly flawed assumption in your actual day-to-day work. Okay, enough doom and gloom. What can we actually do about all this? Well, there are 3 highly actionable things you can start doing right now. First up, try to prefer tools that have web search or actual document access. When the AI can physically search your specific documents before generating an answer. It's working from real hard source material instead of just kind of guessing from its training memory. That simple shift alone reduces hallucinations significantly. Think of it as the difference between taking an open book exam versus a completely closed book one. It's an absolute game changer. Second thing, just ask the AI to cite its sources. Literally just add this exact phrase to any prompt you write, cite your sources, or say you don't have enough information. Just that one single constraint forces the AI to shift gears from making confident assertions to actually doing evidence-based reporting. Believe me, a visible gap where the AI admits it doesn't know is always better than a completely hidden fabrication. And the third one, this is a really neat trick. Ask the AI to review itself. Right after you get an answer, follow up with this exact prompt. Look at what you just wrote. Which parts are you least sure about? A generally good model will actually flag its own shaky claims for you. Now, is it absolutely perfect? No. But it services all these hidden uncertainties that would have otherwise flown totally under your radar. Look, the overarching goal here isn't to just distrust AI completely. That's not productive for anyone. The real goal is to trust it appropriately. We have to remember that AI is a fantastic starting point. It is not, however, the final answer. Make it a hard rule to always manually check numbers, check dates, and check names. Those three things are by far the most common targets for hallucinations. If the answer actually matters to your work, take the extra 30 seconds to verify it somewhere else. At the end of the day, that super polished, confident tone we talked about, it tells you absolutely nothing about accuracy. All that matters is whether the claim actually holds up when you double check it. So I want to leave you with this one thought. In your own work right now, where are you taking the AI's word for it without verifying? Because whatever that is, that's probably the exact gap you should be closing first.